We really want you guys to be weather aware this week as we are looking at potential high temperatures, especially for the holiday weekend. Craig joins us now in the studio this morning. Craig, we talked a lot about that this morning, something people really want to be cautious about.
Yeah, number one killer, weather-related killer, is heat. People don't think about this. You think, okay, it's going to be thunderstorms or hurricanes, tornadoes, all these different things that you hear, these tragic stories around weather-related fatalities. Number one killer is actually heat, because so many people are impacted. You think about it, a thunderstorm may impact, a few thousand people with a powerful storm coming through. And maybe the most intense part of that cell impacts a couple hundred people, homes, residences, whatever. In the case of a heat wave, you have millions upon millions of people that have to deal with the heat, and unfortunately there are those that cannot deal with the heat. So we're going to talk about this. Let's start off with a look at the satellite or the radar images. I'm looping this, few sprinkles showing up just down to the south of our area. And as we take a look, I bring this up because we did have a front come through. Today's actually going to be a cooler day. Highs today, upper 70s near the coast, low 80s inland. The reason for that, again, that frontal boundary that is down to the south. So as we take a look here, it's really not that bad today. It is cloudy still, but as we take a look at our surface map, and I'll go ahead and pop that up on there so you can see what's going on, that frontal boundary down to our south and through. So we've got our relief at this point with that front down to the south. But I'll tell you what, looking out to the west, you see this? Look at this area where that warm front is all the way up into Minnesota. There's some severe weather up there around the Dakotas. That big area here is dealing with a strong south flow of warm air coming up from the Gulf. And I can tell you that this air here is very, very warm. That whole area is going to slide east, and that's what's coming. Do want to mention also fire danger out there to the west. We're not going to worry too much about that here. We have seen some rain recently, including over the weekend, Matthew. We talked about that earlier. Kind of scattered showers, hit and miss. But look at those temperatures in the Midwest. All right, this was yesterday's highs. 96 up to Omaha, 94 in Denver, 96 there in Albuquerque, 101 in El Paso. Plenty of heat in Dallas, St. Louis, Little Rock. That's all spreading east. Look at the highs forecast for today. Upper 90s, Dallas and Oklahoma City. Mid 90s, Kansas City. Sioux Falls up to 95. 94 in Chicago. 97 in Atlanta. Jacksonville, 100 degrees. Oof. The heat is coming. So we have a weather impact alert, and I've called this for July 2nd. That's Thursday. The 3rd is Friday, the 4th is Saturday, and Sunday the 5th. On those days, we potentially will see feels-like temperatures when you take the already hot conditions, temperatures in the mid to upper 90s, and then you add the humidity. It's going to feel like it's 100 to 110. And I think Friday and Saturday especially, the 3rd and 4th of July, that heat index or that feels-like temperature is going to be more like the upper end of that range, 105 to 110. A lot of heat. A lot of humidity. Folks got to take it easy, beat the heat. Now, when we talk about like these hot weather safety practices, you think, okay, find AC. Sure. You got to, right? Hopefully you've got good working AC. Hopefully that AC in your car works, because it gets really dangerous in those cars without good working AC. But for those that don't have access to AC, we're going to need to have some. We're going to need cooling centers open, and I'm sure that the cities will provide that. Think about getting to a store or to a venue that has working air conditioning. You need to do what it takes. Remember, kids running around outside, they don't think about the heat. Their bodies don't always handle it as well. You remember as a kid, did you ever want to come in?
Nope.
Yeah, you go outside, you play, we're just playing, tag football or whatever, No, you got to take it easy, all right? You think about your pets. They need plenty of fresh water. The big concern here, and Sarah, if you have anything to chime in, you can ask away as well. When you get these daytime highs in the upper 90s, and I'll go ahead and put that up so you can see just what we're dealing with here. This is one of the models, the trend of the next 10 days. You're looking at 98, 99, 99. This particular model cools it down a little bit on Sunday. Some of our other guidance keeps it up around 98, 99 on Sunday as well. But the bottom line is when you get those types of daytime highs day after day after day after day, and the overnight lows are down in the upper 70s to low 80s across the region, there's never really a good reset. You never really get a chance for things to cool down and calm down. So it's kind of a cumulative kind of building, of this heat stress on your bodies. People with cardiac issues or respiratory issues, particularly vulnerable in these types of conditions, and that is going to be our big concern. So that's the message that we're giving. Again, I can't stress it enough. We'll have plenty of stories from 13 News Now on all of this coming up, and we'll let everybody know as we get closer to some of those safer practices for the hot weather. We can take a quick look at the satellite and radar, and we'll jump into our forecast here. I think we're also going to talk a little bit about the Venezuelan earthquake and recovery.
I was going to ask, Craig, when you look at that outlook, I mean, obviously, a lot of people are probably planning for their weekend. When are we going to go to the beach? Watch fireworks. What time would you recommend if you want to hit the beach to stay coolest the most? Are you saying mornings, evenings?
Well, so the beach temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler. And one of the things that I'm doing at what we call a weather nugget, or kind of a shorter little story on, that's going to air, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, as we start to really feel that. There will be days where if we have a light enough offshore wind, talking about winds from the south or southwest, winds that would normally blow out. If the winds are less than 10 miles per hour and we have this big temperature difference, which we expect, water temperatures in the upper 70s or mid to upper 70s, ground temperatures in the 90s, you've got 15, 20 degree temperature difference. That warm air rises, you will get a sea breeze. And that's the point of this story, giving you the conditions it takes. So I think at the beaches, it will be a little bit cooler as far as the peak times to avoid the afternoons, typically. Of course, the sun angle's so high, even at midday, you're going to have some issues out there. We want folks to enjoy our gorgeous beaches, but definitely that peak heating of the day, we, like my neighborhood has a huge neighborhood party and picnic for the whole thing. We're already starting to talk about which activities we may curtail. One of the things they do is a big tug of war. We don't need people exerting that much effort, if it's that hot. So we're looking at cooling stations and some other options as well.
That's
Just
smart.
need to be smart. So right now we have cloudy conditions out there. Sarah, if you want to get into the forecast here local, we've been largely dry. A few sprinkles around the Albemarle, but nothing significant. We're going to see clearing as the afternoon wears on. Temperatures staying very comfortable today, upper 70s to low 80s. We've got our AC kicking on here in the studio. Thank goodness that's still working. As we look overnight, skies become partly cloudy. I think we'll have a good sunset tonight. I really do. For your Tuesday, temperatures up into the mid 80s. So getting warmer, and then the heat really builds after that. At the beach, look, it looks like a few peaks of sunshine there. Look at the wave action. And right now we have dew points in the 70s. Beach forecast today, moderate threat of rip currents. You see the wave action out there with our Thompson Creek Window Company Skyview. I do expect some sunshine later this afternoon. Very high UV index. Be mindful of that. All right, out on the water, it's going to get a little breezy later this afternoon. As far as that 7-day forecast goes, we are looking at temperatures today, low 80s, mid 80s tomorrow, and then low 90s to mid 90s on Wednesday with upper 90s Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I really think Sunday as well. Again, we might lower it a little bit, but not much. It's going to be a blistering weekend.
Yes, for sure. Definitely stay hydrated in the shade. Craig, we appreciate it.